I want to share the stages of addiction. What are the stages of addiction? So the first one is experimentation. So guess what? It starts right at, well, let me see what it tastes like. Let me see what it feels like. Let me see what the hype is all about. That's where it starts. It starts with that, is being able to experience, right? Trying a substance or behavior for the first time. That's the first stage, is you're just experiencing it.
And there's the second side to that coin. The flip side of that is maybe somebody who is having mental health issues already. They want to escape that. I don't want to hear the voices no more. But instead of going and getting psychiatric help, getting on proper medications, they want to deal with it all on their own. Yeah. So what do? They go to their street pharmacists, or they go try to cope on their own and self-medicate. And unfortunately, that's the wrong answer. When you're already dealing with mental health issues. Yeah. If you didn't have mental health issues before, the addiction's it's going to cause mental health, and vice versa. If you already have the mental health, the drugs is not going to make it any better. But unfortunately, some people, again, it could be ignorance, or it could just be the lack of resources that are available. And this is where Faith Connections comes in. That's our goal, is to just bring awareness and have resources and make it known. And
to help you navigate through this.
You're
not alone. You're not the only one going through it.
Correct. And there is help out there for every single thing. Unfortunately, it's not a one size fits all, but you got to keep working at it and trying. And I know there's more. We're going to get into it.
Correct. So we're still in the stages of addiction, right? So the first one I shared is experimentation, and that's trying a substance or behavior or doing something for the first time. That's that's where it all starts. It's that experimentation. Right. The second stage is regular use. So this is where, I like the way this tastes, or I like the way this feels, or I like the way it's helping me feel better because I've been sad or depressed, or I have a lot of issues and I'm just forgetting. It's helping me forget temporarily about all of my problems. Again, or, I just solution. Like it. It's that, it's kind of, it takes you to that. It gets you another on a high, level. Right? So it's kind of literally like, hey, you're getting high. Yeah, it makes you feel like you're on top of the world for the moment. Whatever the addiction is, it doesn't matter. So that's the second stage of addiction. It's regular use, and that's you increasing the frequency of using or engaging in whatever it is, right? The third stage is risky use. So this is not, like Chris, you talked about earlier, man, well, I couldn't wait to start drinking, and you drink. Do you drink occasionally? Absolutely. It's not like you're going to sit here and say, but you don't drink every weekend. You don't drink very frequent. It's actually, we just did it. We don't have an issue. Yeah. We don't have an issue with drinking. Right. We're not controlled. Yeah. We're not controlled. Right. The alcohol has no control over us. We have control over it. Right. So we get to decide, hey, if I want to have a drink or when I want to have a drink. Right. It doesn't mean, hey, I need to have a drink. Right. So there's a difference. It's the if and the when, and not I have to.
That's good. Yes.
Right? I mean,
you hit it right in the head.
Yeah. Oh, that was Lord. But the risky use is the third stage, because that's like, I have to have it. I have to have that. Man, I'm consuming the substance or engaging in these behaviors despite adverse consequences. I'm just going to use alcohol because you brought that scenario up, but it's you drinking to the point that you're throwing up. It's making you sick. You have a hangover the next day, or you didn't show up to work because you got drunk, or you didn't show up to work because you got high, or whatever the case it is. Or you're addicted to pornography. So you were hooked on that computer all night. You didn't get to sleep, and now it's affecting you, or it's affecting your marriage or your relationship.
I was thinking gambling as you were speaking, because gambling is just an
affecting you financially. And you're losing your money.
Where you're gambling online, maybe going to all these poker tournaments online or whatever the case may be, and you're spending all this money. Before you know it, your money is going to an addiction versus paying your bills, paying your mortgage, buying whatever your family food on the table, the clothes on their backs, and the list goes on and on and on. And that's what gambling addictions do. Yeah. Pornography can do the same thing. It's not just a sex thing, and you're spending money because now you're online purchasing subscriptions to whatever those websites could
Yeah.
be.
Some of these
the videos and
counteract with each other.
Yeah, they overlap and correct.
Yeah. All right. So experimentation, regular use. Then we go into risky use. The fourth one is dependence. So physical and psychological reliance on the substance or behavior. So now you're doing it frequently, but you're becoming dependent on the addiction, right? Yes. You need it to survive. You can't live without it. It's like, no, I need it to feel better. And it's something that you need, right? You feel like you can't function without it. You become dependent on it. And then the last stage is addiction. This is where it's destruction,
got a hold of you.
The destruction, because yes,
has a hold of
you have lost all control over the use and prioritization of the addictive behavior and all the aspects of your life, because you have lost control and it has taken control over you. Like you cannot even make decisions. You can't even try to get better. You have no control over it. It has overpowered you. And I want to end. I know we're going to have part 2 and I'm excited. Yes.
I have more stuff. If you're going to get addicted to anything, get addicted to faith connections.
Yes.
That's
yes.
the only addiction we approve of.
Yes. But I want to share a, I mean, I have a lot of quotes, but we'll end. Yes. But I want to kind of end this episode with this. It says, because we just ended with addiction, right? That was the last stage. It says, when you can stop, you don't want to, and when you want to stop, you can't. That's addiction. Wow. Right there.